think the overall perception of Europe in Malawi specifically, like my context, so I went to an international school with a lot of Europeans there as well, and we really had this like, oh, Europeans are, I want to say, for a lack of better words, superior to us Africans because they have technological advances that we don't have. Their economies are quote unquote better than ours that we have here in Africa. Their standard of living, the policies that they have in place seem to be better than the average African countries, and specifically in Malawi. So I think the perception that we had was that Europe was something that we needed to attain. However, I don't have that perception anymore. The main challenges in African-European relations today, I think, are, I want to say, inequality. There's an inequality in specifically trade negotiations. I think trade and economy is very integral to the way you perceive other nations, because the economy of another nation dictates how other countries also perceive it. We look at America as an economic powerhouse. Everyone looks at America as the American dream or that standard. People look at Great Britain as that standard of the British pound being one of the strongest currencies. So economically, when you're on unequal standings, it makes this like sort of power imbalance. I would quote the research that I did on Malawian agribusiness. Tobacco is one of Malawi, my country's biggest exports. They export to the Netherlands specifically over $100 million worth of tobacco each year. However, it's only $2.73 per kg of tobacco grown. So 2.7 kgs, to give you context, can make 1 kg can make about 800 cigarettes, because tobacco can be manufactured into cigarettes. So 1 kg can, using efficient techniques, can make 800 cigarettes. 800 cigarettes are definitely not worth $2.73. So that inequality in trade is very integral to like the way power imbalances work in society, in economy, in the way that we view ourselves and the way that we view Europe. I think it's something that we really need to tackle to like change these policies of trade and make trade more of an equal standing between our continents. I think cooperation is a virtue. If we're talking about African countries cooperating with European countries, I think it should happen. I'm not against it at all. I think the way that it's being carried out needs to change. There needs to be equal footing, as I said earlier. There really needs to be that power balance. It needs to be trade partners and not a donkey and his master, if that analogy makes sense. I think it's really important that we really value each other as trade partners, as economic partners in the world global market. It's really important to foster social cohesion, economic free flow, and really just ensure that we have the brightest future for all of us. So while trade can extend into different fields and into a greater capacity, but it needs to, the way that it's carried out needs to change in such a sense that each party is at equal standing.